Hi, I'm Dawn, the Good News Muse. Welcome to my low-tech but loving kitchen, where today I've been involved in making bread pudding. I've cut 3 baguettes into 1-inch squares, combine that with 15 eggs, a half a quart of milk, a quart of cream, 2 bags of butterscotch chips, 1 cup of sugar, and 1 bottle of Tabasco habanero sauce. Today, for about 8 hours, that's been soaking all day, and now the first pan is in the oven baking. And if things turn out as planned, I'll be able to take some of this to Trader Joe's, my friend Alex, and the folks out there later tonight. I've been thinking how there are recipes in food that feed our physical body, but in today's experience I've realized there are recipes that feed us through the experience of sharing circles and cycles, recipes that feed our soul here in life's kitchen. Let me show you what I mean. This all started actually with a tree, a nut that became a tree, that in turn shared its pulp to become a newspaper. Yes, I still read a newspaper. That paper was shared as part of a daily cycle by my delivery person. He's part of the cycle of my life, and I'm part of his. The recipe was actually shared by a restaurant, Sunset Grill. I, in turn, shared money given to me by clients to purchase ingredients. There was the milk from the cow, 15 eggs from the chicken at Hohenwald Farms, and the milk and cream from Hatcher Dairy, both local. There were the sugar and the butterscotch, all the other ingredients, and then hopefully there is my oven constructed of materials, metals, and things from Mother Earth, who's always sharing with us. The heat that circles in the oven. And then, if all goes well, I'll get in my car, go to Trader Joe's, and share bread pudding. There's the bread pudding I'll share with Alex and his friends, the bread pudding I share with neighbors and family. There's the sharing of this story on YouTube. As you can see, there are all kinds of circles. The most important ingredient in the physical recipe, though, is the grain that becomes the wheat, that becomes the bread. I thought of it as the flour of life, the flour that makes the bread. And in terms of sacred geometry, all these circles, if I kept repeating all the shared circles, this is actually the seed of life. I would then have the flower of life. The flower of life is the building block for all of creation. So the flower of life, bread, feeds our physical body, while the flower of life feeds our soul and spirit and actually provides us with nature. Bread pudding has actually been around for over 800 years. People began making bread pudding as a way to keep stale bread because they were poor and they needed to use it. But I think they were onto something that applies to us today. You cannot feel poor in spirit and eat really good bread pudding. And regardless of what happens in our economy, you can't feel poor when you're sharing bread pudding and you're sharing in the cycles and circles of connection. We're surrounded by circles of sharing, by which we're fed and by which we feed others. My wish for you is that you would be aware more and more every day of the things that feed you and the people and things that you feed. I want to say thank you to Sunset Grill for providing a demo piece of bread pudding in my retakes that's gotten a bit overcooked. Thank you to Provence for the bread, McDonald Farms in Hohenwald for the eggs, Hatcher Dairy for the milk, Leslie Blackburn for helping me with sacred geometry, and Noah Benamontz, to Mother Earth for allowing us to be here